going to record this in case you guys want it later or you want to share it with your teams, okay? All right, you guys, I am Rachel Mitchell, and I'm so excited to be hosting this live action hour. You know what, guys, this is non-negotiable. I'm just going to be straight up from the get-go. This is non-negotiable. This is something that you do every day. And like I tell my team all the time, my goal, literally, my prayer is for you guys to fall in love with the work that we're about to do right now every single day. Because Success Club is awesome. That's what we're shooting for. Rank advancements, you know, being recognized on stage is great, but this is what you do every single day. And if you don't love it, you're not going to get to where you want to be, okay? So I literally have my business activity tracker in front of me. And yes, at the beginning of 2019, I had it spiral bound, and I have a ton of them. I just sent it to Office Max, Office Depot. And so I always have it. I never run out of them or have to print some off. So we are just going to go ahead and get started and jump in. And I see some people that I know really well that I respect a whole lot. So like if you want to jump in and contribute to what I'm saying, please feel free to. But this is an action hour, all right? Nobody sits and listens. Everybody is going to take action. And I would love if you would use the chat bar to communicate with me what you're sending, if you have questions, when you're done with the assignments that we have. So let's just go ahead and get started, because legit, you guys, like I built my business in these hours. For the first 3 years, I was a coach. I'm a 5-star coach, elite for last year. My team hit elite last year. I went part-time in my teaching job a little over like a year and a half ago, but for 3 years, I built my business in these pockets of time. So I'm just going to share with you what I did then and what I do now. All right, you guys ready? Drop a yes in the comments, in the chat bar if you're ready. Okay, so here we go. First of all, I think it's really important not to ignore the boxes and the squares on this tracker. The first one being your why. If you don't know why you're here, I mean, if you listened to the Dream Team call last night, then you got it all together. They talked about vision. That's really important. What is going to keep you going in this business when things get hard? And they will get hard, because you know what? This is a job where you're in control. You're the boss. You decide to work or not work. And there's a lot of things in life that are going to keep you down if you let them. So know why you're here. For me, mine says to build a business that honors God, serves others, and provides for my family. And then I have faith plus enthusiasm plus action. And those are really the things that guide my business day in, day out. All right. So I have to remind myself of that, because I get tired too. The next thing is, who are you talking to? Who is your target market? When you sit down to write a post, when you sit down to send a message, when you sit down to make some stories or to go live in your stories, you're trying to attract the other yous of this world. And so your market is you. For me, I write down tired moms, having a history of an eating disorder, yo-yo dieters, people who struggle with living paycheck to paycheck. Like those are the people that I am speaking to in my content, in my messages, and ultimately who I get to serve in challenge groups and through coaching. All right. So know who you're talking to. You're not throwing a blanket message out to the whole world. You want to be really specific in what we're doing here tonight. All right. All right. So first question, and I want you to answer it in the chat bar. Have you made a post today? I'm going to watch and wait and see. Have you made a post today? Yes. 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 Be honest. If you haven't, say no, because that's part of growth in this business. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so what was your post? Was it an invitation to a challenge group or to coaching? Just tell me what your post was about. Now, personally, I don't make a call to action post every day on my social media feed. I invite literally pretty much every day in my stories, but my posts every day are not a call to action. As a new coach, they were, but what I find now, the shift to stories and that little like mini reality TV show that we have in our stories, it's a lot easier to invite there every day. But your social media feed, especially new coaches, you should have a post at least, I mean, no more than once a day, but every single day. And so that's really important, because that's kind of your like logbook. That's your, track sheet of what's happening in your life, and people can go back and read your stories when you add them as a friend or read your message. So that is a must. If you have not made a post today, you're going to do that while we're on this call. The first thing that we are going to do as we get started, obviously, if you look at this, we're really going to work through this main section, this number 2, because this is what moves your business forward every day. Obviously, you should be working out in Drink and Shakeology for you. You should definitely be contributing your challenge groups, and we're going to talk about that for sure. But I post my workout in my stories every day, and I usually share my Shakeology or my Energize every day in my stories. So that is really important. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to go and find new followers. So you guys, get out your phones. Or whatever you're on, and you are going to go and find new people to follow. You're going to go through people who are your target market. And so how do you do that? You might search hashtags. For me, I hate to search hashtags. Like, I legit hate searching hashtags. I would much prefer going to an account that I like, whether it's a local boutique or a brand or like a coffee shop or like for me, I'm faith-based. So if I go to those faith-based accounts and find people who are engaging with their content, that's my target market. It's so much easier than sifting through Instagram hashtags. So for example, I don't ever like to go to really huge accounts. So like, for example, I have a friend, her account is called But God. Let's see, I can't remember how many followers she has. And it really isn't so much about how many followers she has. She has 22,000 followers. But what I'm going to do, that's a lot of followers. I'm not going to go search through all of her followers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to some of her more recent posts, and I'm going to find one that really relates to me. Let's see. So let's see. So I'm just going to find one, and I'm going to look to see who engaged with it, right? Who liked it, who commented on it. And those are the people that are engaged in social media. Those are the people that connect with my core, with my niche, with who I am. And so I am going to follow those people. Really simple. I went to one account, I found a post that I related to, and I went to look at it and see who liked it and who commented on it. And those are going to be the people that I follow. Super, super simple. And they're not going to be like, I mean, if they're a coach, I'm not going to follow them. You can tell that pretty quickly. But I'm going to follow people who already like the things that I like and who are engaged with me. So it really and truly will take about, it really shouldn't take us more than like 5 minutes to find an account, to look at the post, and to follow people who are following it. So I've already sent like 5 friend requests, probably more. All right. So I did that just from the people who commented on her post, and I'm going to go find another one and do the same thing. All right. Are y'all doing it? Does anybody need help with like how to find an account, or how to find an account linked or as part of your niche? Should be pretty simple. It can be a local restaurant. It can be a coffee, something or other. It can be whatever is part of your brand. If you want to share examples of what you're searching. But I literally have already sent like 10 friend requests. Anita said she's a mom blogger. Anita, I'm trying to think, like you have, like, I kind of feel like I know your brand, but like you like, like you like craft beer, that type of thing. You love like festivals. Y'all go to like local festivals, that kind of stuff. So, there's so much.
Yeah. Well, there's even so many, just like local bloggers you can find in your kind of like general area, no matter where you are. And that's what I'm trying to find. I live in St. Louis. So I'm looking for those, and just people who then I have like connections possibly with some of the people, and that helps too.
Yeah. Yeah. So this really shouldn't take a ton of your time. And honestly, like, I don't love to do this part every single day. Stacey, you need hashtag help. Make a list of the top 5 things that define your brand and start there, and I can help you. So like, you can spend like 20, 30 minutes twice a week doing this, but you should definitely be growing your Instagram following by, honestly, every week you could easily grow by like 100 followers. I mean, just on your own. So that's, you have to do it. You looked up other local gyms and followed their active members. That's good. Okay. That's good. That's good. So that's already going to be people who are into fitness. For me, like I struggled with an eating disorder in college. Like we love to travel. My kids do a thing called trail life. So those are all things that like I searched like camping mom or hiking mom, that type of thing, because we love to be outdoors. And so those are things that I would search if I was doing hashtags. Faith, digestive health, restored mom of daughter who's a senior, college prepping, fitness, beach, boating. Okay, so college prep, future empty nester, that kind of thing. Like that's the kind of thing that a hashtag that you would search, Stacy. And you just got to play with it until you find it. Cause there are some that are going to pull up a lot of coaches. But if you get very specific, that's the key, very specific. Another tip is like if you purchase things from a local boutique or you shop at a locally owned restaurant or something, tag them in your location, in your stories or your posts. And if you wear something from a local boutique, I always tag them and I always find followers that way. They end up following me. Okay. All right. So have you guys added followers? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you're going to do this every day, I would spend at least 10 minutes a day doing it. All right. So we're going to do that. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to find some more followers. So we're just going to keep going. Another thing is like, you have those followers who would make great challengers, great coaches, but they're never, ever, ever going to join your group. Like I have a friend who just sends me an encouraging message all the time and she's never going to join a group. She's very happy doing what she's doing. She doesn't want to coach and that's totally fine. But she has 723 followers and she's totally part of my market. She's totally part of my brand. So it's really easy for me to go and follow people who follow her. And so that's super simple to do. So I have, just while I've been talking, probably sent at least 20 follow requests on Instagram. Facebook is so much simpler. You just go and if they suggest who you follow, who use friend request, it's always based on people that you have in common. So that simplifies it a lot. And that's really how I built my business the first 2 or 3 years. I just friend requested the people that Facebook told me to friend request. Okay. All right, everybody good? And I encourage my team to actually screenshot their following once a week. So are you growing? Is that number growing? And that's going to keep you actually on track. All right. All right. Let's keep going. So we found new people to follow. We talked about making your post on Instagram or Facebook. If you have not made one yet today, you definitely need to do that. It's best to do this for me personally. I like to make a post either really early in the morning works well for me or between 7:30 and 9 o'clock at night is when my posts work. And guys, I plan out my content. You will never find me sitting here on a Tuesday night thinking I haven't posted. I don't know what to post. I don't know what I should say. I plan out my content the weekend before so that I can actually do these things and I'm not sitting here for an hour trying to write a post. Now, it might take me 2 or 3 days to write a post, but I'm actually working on it proactively ahead of time. And so I had my post written that I made earlier today. I had it already written out, so I just had to post it when it was time. All right. And it was very specific. It was very targeted. It was a transformation post, and it was all about my just personal struggles with health and fitness at different stages of my life. And the point of it wasn't a call to action because I did that yesterday. And the focus was just to reinforce the focus of my challenge group this month, which is just to verbally and through our actions to say thank you for our bodies. And so that was the focus. And so what I will do is I will go and I will connect with those people who liked that post or commented on that post, and I will invite them. But before we do that, let's go to our Instagram stories. So that is that's the next thing on our list. Update Instagram, Facebook stories throughout the day. Like I said before, You guys, how many people in here watch reality TV? Like, honestly, who watches reality TV? Like, we all have a show that we're addicted to for reality TV, right? This is your own reality TV. And so, like, use it that way. So what that means is that you want to give people a glimpse into your life throughout the day, not like 20 stories uploaded all at once. You want to show people, like, what is your routine in the morning? What workout are you doing? I want people to know I work out every day. I don't care if they get sick of it. Like, this is my life. This is my consistency. This is how I get results. I share daily life. I like to share something in the morning for my devotions or with my kids. I like to show the work that I do every single day as a coach. I want people to see that I actually work, because those people who are watching me are going to become my future coaches. But right now, I want all of you to either take a picture or a video of me talking while I'm training you, or I want you to just take a picture of the screen and I want you to post it in your social media, all right? Because social media is how we let people into our lives, okay? And so I'm gonna do it right now while I'm on here with you. My Instagram has been really funny, so I hope it's gonna let me. But I'm just gonna, wish I had my cord because I would totally show this to you guys. But right now I'm loving the motion blur filter on my stories. But I'm just gonna go do this and be like, all right, I am training all of these lovely ladies right now on how to work the basics of our business and how to actually love the basics of our business. And this is my jam. I love hanging out with these ladies, love training them and teaching them everything that I know. Okay, so that's it. I am just gonna post it. That simple. That simple. And you can go watch it in your MS stories. So that is, like, did you guys all do it? Did you take a picture or record me, like, with my phone in my hand? So Instagram stories throughout the day is so important. And, like, for me personally, I don't ever like to have more than, like, and it just depends on who your brand is. Like, I will not sit there and watch 100 little dots at the top of the Instagram story. I will click off of somebody's page. But you know, my friend Abby can talk all day long, and like her market loves that. Like, her market loves that. So if you are more likely to read people's still shots, or if they don't put words on their post and you click off, then you need to be putting words on your stories, right? So, but just throughout the day, give people a glimpse into your life and mix up personal life with business, personal life with fitness, personal life with tips. Keep a good balance of what you're putting out into social media land, so that you are serving your market with what they want to hear. For me, people want to hear my crazy kid stories. People want to hear from my faith. People want to see me work out. People want tips on what to make for dinner. And they also want to see the community that I have here as a coach. So that's what I put out there every single day in various forms. All right. You guys have any questions about stories? I love stories. You do stories until you go to work, then you have to wait until at 4 p.m. That's totally cool. And that's your life. Like, that's your life. You know, people know that you work a job from this time to this time and then you come back, right? So that's totally cool. That's totally cool. You can actually plan out stories ahead. I actually make my invite series ahead of time and I share them with my team, but I have them ready to go each day. And so, like, if you are allowed to post while you're at work, then you can, like, just, if you have them ready, you can shoot them out like on a break or your lunch break or something like that. So you do have something out there. All right. All right. So speaking of stories, I want you to go back through your stories for the past 24 hours. And here's the other thing. You guys all know that stories go away in 24 hours unless you highlight them, which is really smart. You should make highlights on your Instagram story to save the things that are important, but they go away in 24 hours. So people aren't going to get tired of you talking about your boot camps. They're not going to get tired of you making a workout post every single day, because they're going to see something new every 24 hours, right? But with that also, after the story goes away, you cannot see who actually liked the story. Now, this is a huge part of my business building process, is messaging people who watch my stories. And it's very simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it or think, you know, like, what do I say? I'm actually going to share an example in the chat bar here. And you guys, if you are somewhere where you can copy it, I don't know, it may not post. It's not letting me post. Well, let me post in the chat bar. I don't know what that's about. Okay, well, you just have to listen to me. Okay, so it says something like, hey, girl, first off, I want to say thank you so much for following along with my hot mess life. And I always talk about like I would talk to somebody else. I love sharing my story. So glad you're a part of it. But I'm not sure if you've noticed lately, but I run monthly fitness boot camps to help women achieve their own health and fitness goals. They're totally about accountability, about community, about motivation. Yes, we focus on physical results, but we also focus on what I call working in, which is working on the inside so the outside becomes what we want it to be. And so it's all about giving up dieting for good, finding food freedom. Are you open to learning more about my boot camps, right? So if someone's watching my stories, they're choosing to be there inside my hot mess life. And I am going to invite them to be a part of my community, because if I don't, somebody else is going to invite them. Somebody else is going to invite them. If they're following me for fitness and faith motivation, then they belong in my boot camps. If I don't invite them, somebody else that's doing the same thing is going to invite them. Okay. So right now I'm going to send that message to people. Oh, that was me talking. I'm going to send that message to people who are watching my stories, and I'll say it again. Actually, I did this earlier today, so I don't have a ton of people that I can send it to again right now. I don't know why I can't chat. It will not let me. Oh, wait, here we go. So this is just like a stock one. It's not exactly what I said, but it's pretty much like close to it. Okay. So let's all send messages to people watching our stories. Okay. Good. You mix up the voice and text messages. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. And two, if you have a business account, you can create the quick replies so that you can actually save these messages in there, and it saves so much more time rather than, I mean, like obviously I keep these things in my note section and things like that. So I always have these messages, but if you keep them in quick replies, then you can just like post it, edit it how you want to, and then send it to 10 people real quick. All right. And another thing is I always send the message from the story. So if you can see who's watching your stories, then you just click that little arrow. I don't know if you can see it. There's an arrow beside it, and that sends them the story that they were watching plus your message. All right. So that's important too, because it's kind of like, hey, I see you watching me. You should do this with me, right? All right. Do you guys send your messages? And just a mindset thing. Some people aren't going to respond. Some people are going to see your message and they're not going to respond. It doesn't mean you should quit coaching today. It just means that that's not what they need in their life right now. I would tell you, like, it takes, for me personally, it usually takes like months, 3, 4, sometimes 6 months, a year of people watching me and me messaging them until they join me. And that's totally okay. If they keep watching me, they're going to continue to get a message from me. All right. Because they're obviously watching for something. Right. And it just may not be their time. But I've been the girl who didn't invite the people watching me and they joined somebody else's challenge group or coaching team. All right. So it can't hurt to message. They're not your challenger now. If they're not your challenger tomorrow, nothing changes. Right. Okay. All right. Let's see. So are you guys good on that? Has everybody sent messages to people watching your stories? If you don't have stories, then you need to post some stories. All right. I always have stories in there for 24 hours, even if it's just 5 stories, which I always have at least 10, but I always have a story up throughout the day. All right. I personally don't send a lot of cold invites. To me, messaging somebody watching my stories, that's not cold. They've chosen to follow me. They're viewing my content. I don't like follow somebody and invite them to my boot camp the next day, not unless like I'm in a major push or, you know, like I just have to. Like I know in the beginning we sent like 100 invites a day. It was crazy. But like now I spend a lot of time doing the things I'm teaching you right now. And that if I'm doing that every day, I always have people in my funnel to invite to my challenge groups, right? So right now, I want you to go back to people that and you have to be tracking this. You have to be tracking this. If it's on this, like this, I love these trackers because they have the back of the sheet. So you can add, like I messaged Susan Rayner, you know, on this day, started a connection. And then you can go back to last week, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go back to some people that I've tracked before, and I'm just going to go back to them, and I'm going to say something like this, all right? Hey girl, I didn't want you to think that I had forgotten about you. I know you had some health and fitness goals. It wasn't the right time when we talked last, but I have an amazing boot camp and you are like one of the first people that I thought of this month. And I really want you to join us. If money was an issue, there's super savings this month. Like there's $20 off the challenge pack. If time was an issue, just do it. Just go for it. Now, there's never going to be a better time to start than today, right now. Okay. Are you in? Do you want me to hold your spot? It creates a sense of urgency. It communicates care and concern. And hey, I didn't forget about you. That sentence alone speaks a lot to people that you remembered to come back and follow up with me, right? And so, like, I'm going to go and send that message to probably at least 5 people right now and just say, hey, I didn't forget about you. I still have a spot for you in my boot camp. We're going to focus on this insert theme of challenge group. Challenge packs are on sale this month. I want you to be one of my first challengers this month. Are you in? Okay. So that's what I'm going to send. Let's see. And if you don't have anybody to follow up with, then you need to start connecting while we're doing this. All right. Start inviting. Honestly, I've been doing my job well because most of these people have joined me in the last month or two. If anybody else is sending something different, feel free to share. All right. And another thing, I did this a lot. Where's the quick reply setting? Stacy, it is in your, yes, I will, Katie. I'll share that. It is in your messages. Do you have a business account, Stacy? Okay. If you go to your private messenger and you go down to the little text box where you make a message, there should be a plus button down there, and that's where you add your quick replies. Let's see. Copy. So I'm just gonna. Praise God for Apple products, because that just copied from my phone. Okay. Yeah, that's what I just sent, as far as like, that's just somebody I've already gone through all the stuff with, like they filled out my application. I've sent them the details about the challenge group, and I know they know the details. It just maybe wasn't a good time. And so I'm just saying, hey, that's, packs for $20 off. So that is only an option from our business page. Yeah. Yeah. Now, yeah, I'm not saying you have to convert to a business account on IG. I have it. I like it. I like those options that I have, the swipe up option and all that stuff. So I do like it. I don't think there's one way to do it. Manessa, did I say that right? But that's up to you. I use the quick replies all the time, so it's very much worth it to me. So yes, okay. So I sent that to someone that was tracking. And I just went back to my trackers, people I had to follow up with. But another thing that I did today, I told you I already messaged a lot of people from my stories today. So yesterday I did a challenge group invite series. I invited people who were watching that story, but also, you guys, you'll see that people you have conversations with that you've invited in the past, they may ghost you, they may not respond, they may say no, but they keep watching you. If they're watching my challenge group stories, I'm going to send them a message from my stories and say, hey girl, you in this month? Do you want a spot? Do you have any questions? Is this a good time? Are your goals still the same? Like, I'm going to follow up with them that way. It's a super easy way to do it, because if they're watching, they're still interested in something, right? So follow-ups are super simple that way too. But it is very, very important to track who you're talking to and who you're inviting. All right, we good? Anybody have questions about follow-ups? We're just like breezing on through this, you guys. Let's see. So I will, the same thing that I did with inviting people who are watching my stories, I do the same thing for people who like my posts. I have no idea what my cat is doing in there. I don't like my cat, just so you know. Okay, so yesterday I went through, oh, look, y'all are mentioning me in your stories. Okay. I went through and I invited a lot of people. So I did a coach post a few nights ago, and it was just about community and things like that. And so I went back and I invited to coaching. So if you are not making a coaching post at least once a week, and if you're not inviting in your stories to coaching at least, I say twice a week, I do it almost like every other day, really, or I can work it into a challenge group series in my stories. But you got to be talking about coaching, because even if you're a brand new coach, you can build a team that grows with you. All right. So don't let that stop you, that fear factor stop you. But I do the same things that I just did with my challenge group, inviting to my challenge group. I do the same things with my coaching opportunity. And I'm going to find a message that so this is very simple, and I'm going to post it in the chat bar here. But I just messaged everybody that liked my post about coaching the other night. And it was not a direct, I don't think it was a direct call to action, invite to my team. It may have been, I can't remember. But it was very direct and just talking about coaching in the community. And I said, I got really personal, because like, I do want someone I'm inviting to coaching to know that it's not just a cold invite. Like, I went and I checked out your page, I connected with you, something I saw about you makes me want you to invite you to join my team, right? And so I said, hey, hey, Andy, you're adorable. Notice the love on my post about my team and checked out your page. Your daughter is too precious. I don't know what I would do with a daughter. I'm boy mom all the way. So it's personal, right? It's not just a, hey, you liked my post, join my team kind of thing. Like, I checked out her page. I connected with something. I sent a message about that. And then I said, Anita, I'm sorry. I have typos all the time. Just forgive me. Like my messages always have typos. Were you interested in learning more about what to do as a coach or just sharing the love? Okay. So that is, and I got like actually a lot of response back from that. Like if somebody said, no, I don't want to coach, but I'd like to hear more about the fitness part of it. One lady signed up for my what is coaching email campaign. Like she's very like honestly like high on my list of potential coaches. And so like it took me, I got on a call like this last night with a couple people from my team and we just blasted out messages. You have to have content. If you don't have content, post stories, you cannot generate conversations. So you have to be consistent in that. But they connected with my content and I sent them a message and said, thanks, were you interested in learning more? It's very simple. All right. And even if they say no, people are always like, oh, wow, you know, you messaged me and you took the time to check out my page and thank you. And you're so inspiring. I don't need anything right now, but I love following you. Right. Those honestly are your future challengers and your future coaches. Okay. So don't discount that. Don't discount the simplicity of taking 5 minutes to blast out 10 messages to people who are engaging with your content. Okay, so y'all do that right now. Can you do that right now? You can take my post, tweak it a little bit, go to your last couple of posts, look at people who liked it or commented on it. I don't care if it's 3 people, if you have not messaged them before, and even if you have messaged them before, you know, if it's somebody that likes all my posts, I'm gonna be like, hey girl, you just really don't understand how much I appreciate your support and your love as I get vulnerable and I share my story. So, you know, like you can invite them again, or you can just share the love and say, thank you so much. Like people appreciate being noticed. All right. So I'm going to do that with my post that I did earlier today, even though it hasn't had a lot of time to get a lot of traction. Hey, Matt. Okay, that's not the cat, right? Okay. Okay, I'm on a call. I'm on a call. Make sure you change the name when you copy and paste these messages. So I'm literally just sending that message that I just shared with you guys. And I live by the business strategy that if you wake up tomorrow morning and you don't have any messages in your inbox, then you didn't do your job today. That's just like, that's how I've always run my business. Okay. All right. So we've invited, we've connected, we have made a post, we have made stories, which is going to be content for your conversations tomorrow. We followed up. Has everybody followed up? All right. Okay. So here's one thing I love to do. It's the voice memos. And you can do this through Facebook or you can do this through Instagram. It does not matter, but there's power in people hearing your voice. And this is not an invite. This is not a like, you know, join my team, join my challenge group. This is just a voice memo to say, hey, girl, thanks so much for watching my stories. Like, I love to inspire other women. Tell me why you follow me. Is it for faith, fitness, family, whatever? Just thank you so much for following me. It's just a gratitude message and it goes a long way. And it has to be genuine, obviously, but it just send a message to people who are consistently watching your stories, even if you've invited them and they've never joined. And I'm going to do it right now. Hold on just a second. Let's see. Okay, this is a girl who watches all my stuff and I message her every now and then and she doesn't really respond, but this is what I'm gonna say. Hey, Shannon, thank you so much for following along on my stories. It is just such a privilege to inspire you and to encourage you. And I hope that something I share every single day just makes your life a little bit better. Hope you're having a good night. And I simply wanted to say thank you. All right. Bye. That was it. That's it. You can do that in a video message. If you record the video message, you can save it to your phone and then send it over and over. Obviously, you wouldn't want to say, like, hey, Shannon, you just want to keep it kind of general, but just say thank you. Thanks for following my story. Hope it inspires you. Hope you have a good night. I'll see you back here tomorrow, right? So really simple. I'll do that one. Let me do that one just to give you guys an example. Let me find somebody. And I do this a lot with my team too, like people who are in my challenge groups, people who are on my coaching team, just like share the love, honestly. Okay, here's one I haven't really like connected. Well, I message her all the time, but she doesn't message me back. So she's going to get a video. Thank God for filters at 9 o'clock at night. Hey girl, I just wanted to pop in here and say thank you so much for following my stories. It means a lot. I hope that something I share every day inspires you and encourages you, and I hope you're having a good night. But I'll see you back here tomorrow. Okay? Bye. So it was kind of generic, but it did the job. And so like all I did was I downloaded it before I sent it to her, and I can send it again. So I can send that to people. Like I can send it out 3 times like right now. I am like blasting some messages tonight. Okay. So simple. And I would definitely use all the features that Instagram has. They reward you whenever you use a lot of their features. When I say reward you, they like give you more traction. So use the stickers, use the polls, use the voice memo, use the video messenger, use it all. Not every day, but just every now and then. Okay, I just sent that to 5 people watching my stories. You guys have questions? All right, here's the last thing that we are going to do. Let me make sure we invited, we followed up, we connected. Now one of the things I love to do too is just to like blast out a message to my current challengers. And so for me personally, I track everybody who joins my team, who joins my challenge group. I track them in like an email marketing system, but I also track them in Streak. And so it just something about like just a personal message from your personal email goes a long way. And so like once a week, at least once a week, I will go to Streak. I'll click one button and it'll highlight everybody. They don't know they're all being emailed to. It's just kind of like one-on-one. And like sometimes I'll just be like, hey girl, the message, the subject will be like, hey girl, I was thinking about you tonight. And I'll just go in there and say, hey, I was just sitting here ready to go to bed, checking in with my challenge groups, and you popped into my mind. I don't know if you're doing great today or if you're struggling with something. I just want you to know I'm here for you. And if I can encourage you in any specific way, faith, family, life, job, whatever it is, shoot me a message. I would be honored to encourage you tonight. And I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with challenge group, it doesn't have anything to do with Shakeology or anything like that, but just the fact that you take 3 minutes to write a personal message goes a long way. I did this a couple of weeks ago, and you guys, like I got message after message from my challengers, and they told me about marital struggles. They told me about job struggles. They told me that they'd fallen off the wagon or they were crushing it. It just opens the door for that community and that conversation with you. And the more that they trust you, the more that they know that you care, the longer they're going to stick with you. And that's customer retention. And I don't mean to sell it this way, but it's volume and it's income and it's all that kind of stuff. It really is. When people know you care, they will do whatever you do. Okay. So that's it. That is all that I have. Like we did that in 45 minutes. I am so fast. Do you guys have any questions for me? Because we do have like 15 minutes and I'm happy to help you. If you have some conversations that you need help with, or you need to follow up with somebody and you don't know how, or you want to invite somebody and you're not sure how, like let's do it now. Let's figure it out now. You may have anything? If you want to unmute, you can, or just raise your hand. I may have to unmute you. And I know I worked through that really fast, but I've been doing it for 5 years too. So like you get in the routine, you get in the habit, you just find your groove and you just go. Does anybody have anything you may want to add to it? What I said? Nope. Okay. All right. You will all wake up with messages in your inbox tomorrow morning, and that will be exciting. Even if they're no's, that's still exciting. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, good night. I'll talk to you later.